is where we fill in the usual costs and prices. So this is going to be average cost. It's going to be 5. For that, I'll pick 3 random suppliers again. Okay, and then pricing is going to be wholesale 14, retail 18. You'll notice when I put the price in here, because we set up selling currencies, it automatically uses the spot rate at the moment, and the spot rates are here to basically work out what the equivalent is. So £5 is worth that much of that, and £14 is worth them based on the spot rates at the moment. So it'll work out what the equivalent price is in Philippine pesos is, euros, etc. I can amend these if I want though, so I can say, well, actually, if you buy in euros, you're going to pay 30 euros, not 21, and we can fix a price on euros like that. Okay, so if I next on that and then finish, this looks like a standard item, except we've got an item matrix tab in here. When we go into there, we can see all the matrix details, and we've got this little option here for if someone buys, if we had quantity break discounts where you buy 3 and you get a discount, you could say, does this apply across the whole products in this group? So if they buy a blue large, a red small, and a blue medium, then that can sense them buying 3 items, so they'll get the discount. So that's what that little flag in there is for. Okay, so there's my matrix item. The next item I'm going to create is an assembly item. So again, new item, and I'm going to choose my assembly this time. Okay, and the assembly we're going to create is a bike. So again, we get the usual units of measure, etc., etc. Just going to skip through that for a second, and then we get onto the assembly components part. Now this is basically saying what goes in to make our bike. So we've got the top of the shop, 100 frames, 17-inch wheels. I just go down and pick the items out. We've got some handlebars, some pedals, seat, and some tyres. Okay, so we can put the quantity needed in here. We need 1 frame, we need 2 wheels, 1 handlebar, 2 pedals, 1 seat, and 2 tyres. And we can also put instructions in here, such as bolt that to this, and whatever other instructions you might want to put in here for assembling the item. Okay, so if I click next, now the cost here will come directly from the items, so it's worked out what the costs on each of them items are, and will then work out what the total is, so that's okay. There won't be any supplier for this because we're going to build it ourselves. And the last thing is the price, which we're going to do 230 wholesale and 310 retail. Okay, so there's our assembly. It looks like a normal item again, except we've got an assembly tab here that contains all of our details. We can go back and amend them at some point if we wish to. Okay, next thing we're going to do is go and create a price list. So on the inventory menu, under pricing, we've got a price list option. Okay, and we've got a new button on the top for creating it, and we're going to call it Good Customer Price List. And we're going to put our handgun on. and we're going to put bullets on. Okay, but what we're also going to do in here, so if we want to, just for these items, we can just say what the selling price is straight off the bat. We can key them in, or we can put discounts in there. We can do a few things in here. What we actually want to do in here is set some quantity breaks up in here. So if I click the little plus next to the handgun, it then shows me all the units of measure under there. So I can set up quantity breaks for each unit of measure if I want, with obviously different prices for each. Now what we're going to do is just look at each unit of measure for handgun, and in here we can specify our quantity break. So we're going to say if the customer buys from between 1 and 100, then what is the actual price going to be? So we're going to say it's going to be £9. Okay, if they buy between 101 and 9999999, then they're going to get it at £8. Okay, and when I'm finished with handgun, minimize that again, and then I can go back in later to check that. So then for the bullets item, I'm going to do a similar thing. If they buy between 1 and 1,000, they get a unit selling price of £2. If they buy between 1,001 and 2,000, then they'll get it at £1.50. And if they buy above 2001, so all the way up to 9999999, then they will get it for £1.30. Okay, so when I'm happy with that, I save and close that. Okay, so now what I can do is go and assign that price list to different customers.